High impact atmospheric river lineup. The season is beginning. I'm ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods with a look at our weather impact alerts as we head into the middle of the week and even into a very busy holiday travel period. Our extended outlook calling for a likely wetter setup throughout almost the entire West Coast here, extending in through the Rockies. So it looks like we could even find some impacts with some air travel as well, especially as we head into Thanksgiving. So here's a look at our forecast right now for our atmospheric river landfall forecast. This is from CW3E, the Center for Western Weather and Water Extremes. And it looks like we're looking at a category, or I should say an AR4, which is in the extreme range here through Northern California, extending all the way through the North Bay area. Now, it does start to decrease somewhat as we head into Southern California, but a look at the potential rainfall starting late Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 15 inches possible along the northwest coast. For the capital region, including Sacramento, about 1 to 4 inches. Again, that's total accumulation. This is a little far out in terms of really pinpoint precision forecast for totals. So you want to stay tuned to our in-depth forecast. That's on ABC 10 Plus. It's our streaming channel. If you don't have it, make sure you download it wherever you stream on TV. It's live, local, and always on. And we are really going to go into depth on this forecast, especially because I'm still trying to check the calendar to make sure I have this right. But yes, this weekend is one of the biggest travel periods that we have all year as we head into our Thanksgiving week. Now, the first round of wet weather moving through isn't going to do too much. It's going to bring us a few sprinkles here and there throughout the valley and a couple snow showers through the Sierra. But all in all, this is a low impact storm, just kind of a quick mover, a cold one. So it will be pretty cold overnight tonight through early tomorrow. But as far as the total accumulation, it's going to be on the very light end, especially throughout the valley. About 1 to 2 inches possible for the Sierra. But you can see by tomorrow morning, we're already starting to clear out. So in terms of total rainfall, not much measurable rain for the valley, about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch through the foothills. And for the Sierra, we'll pick up roughly about 1 to 2 inches for snowfall from about Emigrant Gap up through Truckee, including Donner at the pass there. Twin Bridges about 2 inches, but the Tahoe Basin only about an inch or so. Nice to put some fresh snow out on the high country, but overall, not a huge impact storm or one that's going to just dump tons of snow. On the heels of that, we get right into a freeze watch for the valley. Monday night through Tuesday, we're talking temperatures between about 30 and 35 degrees for the valley, only about 10 degrees for the Sierra. Some places will be right around 5 to 10 degrees or so for the Tahoe Basin. The foothills also getting in on that action with lows in the 30s. As far as Sacramento, that's going to be the coldest temperature if we reach 35 since January 7th, when we had a low of 34 degrees. Since then, we haven't seen anything in this range right here at 35 degrees. We've been above it. So we have to go all the way back to almost the beginning of the year when we had those cold temperatures. It's not going to last terribly long. In fact, right after that, we're into morning lows in the 40s. But that's because we pull in more cloud cover and bring in the chance for rain for overnight conditions. As far as the timeline, here's how everything is playing out. It's just going to be one of those weeks we're just kind of going day by day, trying to stay ahead of the active weather. Tomorrow morning, outside of a really early morning shower, we're going to be clear, still cool. Then we get into that freeze watch for Tuesday morning with valley lows in the 30s. And again, Sierra lows will be in the single digits to right around 10 degrees. Wednesday and Thursday, that's going to be the first time frame of that weather impact alert. Rain and snow will begin on Wednesday, takes us through Thursday. Snow level about 7,000 feet. Now that's going to be right about at the pass level. It's not super great news for the ski resorts that are going to be opening, kind of a heavy, wet snow coming down. Friday, we're still looking at rain and snow chances with our snow level right around 7,000 to 8,000 feet. Since this is an atmospheric river, it tends to pull in just a little bit more warmth into the cycle of the storms. November so far hasn't been all that bad in terms of our rainfall. Usually for the entire month, we get about 1 3/4 inches of rain. We're at 3/4 of an inch, 75 hundredths of an inch so far. We have this cycle of storms coming through, so it's very likely we'll end up with average precipitation for the month. It's been a rather slow start. October didn't give us too much in terms of rain. Before that, we had to go all the way back to about May 4th when we had roughly 6/10 of an inch of rain. And then we really dried out. It's very predictable here in the summer months. We just don't usually get much of anything. 4/100ths isn't bad, actually, for the month of August. And then October, like I said, it was a little bit more on the dry side. And now November has kind of turned things around. So our totals since October 1st, that's the beginning of the water year, haven't amounted to too much, especially for Southern California. And most of us are actually running a deficit of roughly about a half an inch to over an inch and a half of rain for this point in the season. Eureka still a big benefactor of some of the rainstorms coming through, with almost 2 inches above where we should be this time of year. And given the cycle of storms and the predicted path, we should jump well above that for places like Eureka. Our weather impact alert starts up on Wednesday, with rain and snow being the main impacts and the need to prepare for extra travel time, not only because of the weather, but also the sheer volume of traffic that is going to be rolling through the state as we head closer to Thanksgiving Day. Satellite and radar, we get this break in the active weather tonight through Monday. That storm comes rolling through, and then we get this break before this plume of moisture, and you can see it's got a nice little southerly fetch here. We'll start to head our way. Typically, those types of storms hold a lot of moisture to them. They tend to be a little bit warmer, so our winter storm watch will be moved a little bit higher up in elevations than, say, some of these early storms that we had come roll through. Those are really cold, with snow line at times down to about 4,500 feet. Our winter storm watch will start up Tuesday at 4 p.m. That'll take us through Wednesday evening at 10 p.m. That's just the first in a series of storms that are going to hit us, with our snow level forecast hovering right around 7,000 to 8,000 feet. That's not to say that we won't see periodic drops, with overnight lows dropping those temperatures to near the freezing mark. But overall, this is a pretty good baseline for what we're expecting. Okay, this is what I was talking about with our future moisture. The area that you want to focus on is really kind of highlighted in this teal shade right here. And look at how it's drawing in some of that subtropical moisture right in to the plume of moisture heading in, and that will continue into Friday and Saturday as well. It looks like perhaps late Friday through Saturday, we could see another very wet storm, and then a little bit drier weather and some colder storms starting to move on through. Average monthly rainfall, this is about the time of year that we see our average rainfall really jump up. We come out of October, which has less than an inch of rain, into November, less than 2 inches of rain, to December, January, and February, which average about 3.5 to almost 4 inches of rain for the month. Again, we're pretty much right on tap of getting the active weather going, and it hits us midweek with rain and snow impacts and the holiday travel, all of which we're going to be continuing to update you on the timing. That has a little bit lower confidence as we draw closer to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even into next week. It looks like we will stay with an active weather period, but again, what we do know is it looks like very likely that we're going to at least have some wet weather coming in by midweek. So again, tonight's storm, not much of anything, clears out of here pretty quickly. Then we get this counterclockwise circulation, that big low pulling in the moisture. That starts up on Wednesday morning and the mid-morning hours and will continue through early Thursday. Then it pulls a little bit more to the north, again, affecting the Pacific Northwest through extreme northwest California. But then it comes sliding back down again into Friday night and Saturday. So some pretty good moisture associated with that, and a little bit higher snow line with that as well. We'll still see some snow. Again, most of that hitting overnight, but then that snow line kind of moves its way up as we head towards the afternoon hours. But this will affect all the way into Southern California as well. Right now, no snow on the Grapevine. That's the biggest headline. Probably we'll watch it, but it doesn't look like it. But along 395 there for parts of the central and southern Sierra, some snow coming in Saturday into Sunday. Then some more cold air comes in, and it brings us a renewed chance of some precipitation. Now, what I like about this is we have some ski resorts that are opening this week, and most of them start to open it's almost universal that most of them open over the Thanksgiving holiday. So if we get those cold storms coming through the way that it's playing out right now, this could be very favorable to have some really good snow up in the Tahoe Basin heading into Thanksgiving, again, as those colder storms start to come through. Better than the reverse, where we have the cold storms, this great snowpack, and then all of a sudden the warmer stuff comes through and melts it all or ends up being runoff, which is hard to capture this time of year. So again, by the time we get into Wednesday, which is the day before Thanksgiving, it does appear that we could have some decent snow. I'm already thinking of the people that I need to alert to that, who are avid skiers, who are very anxious to get this ski season started. All right, a likely warmer setup will take us through at least part of that forecast. But as I showed you, on the back edge of that is when we start to get some colder air working in. If nothing else, it looks likely wetter throughout much of the state heading into our countdown to Thanksgiving. 11 days away here. Winter solstice, 33, 38 to Christmas Day, and 45 to ring in the new year. I'll look at our forecast for tomorrow for the Sierra. 30s, again, we'll clear out of some of those showers. 40s and 50s as we head down the hill. Along the coast, we're looking at highs in the 50s and 60s, and we'll see those 60s as well. Pretty widespread throughout the valley, and upper 50s sprinkled in there. Heading into our Monday. Our 5-day regional forecast, once we open up that storm door, we just keep that cycle going with the active weather pattern starting up on Wednesday. And then we'll see those hit and miss showers on Thursday, Friday, more rain and snow expected for the coast. It's going to be rain as well. 3-day forecast, we've got the showers starting up on Wednesday. That's our first weather impact alert day of the 10-day forecast. We'll continue that into our Thursday. Now, again, those showers may back off during the afternoon, but for right now, it looks like we're going to keep at least the chance of rain going through Thursday. A little break early Friday, more wet weather heads in Friday through Saturday, and then unsettled weather heading into next week, which again is going to set us up on pace to continue the active weather through Thanksgiving. That is a look at the forecast. And again, with this busy travel period heading our way, we'll keep you up to date on these extended forecasts as we head into our holiday week.